Hello everyone! Welcome to a look at Expeditions Viking. This is a game that's going to be coming out in the first quarter of next year, and I've taken a look at it already just by myself to see if I wanted to cover it, and there's a lot of cool stuff going on here, so I decided to make a video on it. I don't think I'm going to do a full playthrough in this one because, again, it's not officially out yet, and I kind of want to wait for the actual full release to play through the whole thing, but I will cover the beginning part, maybe make a couple episodes here, cover the first couple hours here. Let's jump into a new game. This is going to be like a tactical RPG set in the world of, well, being a Viking. There is no fantasy here. This is, I guess, kind of based on actual... It's kind of based because, well, you'll see. Select campaign. For this beta, you may skip directly to Britain. You'll be offered Huskarls for your party, but the game will assume you've completed no side quests. We're going to start in Denmark. Britain, I guess, is later on in the game. Maybe I'll show a little bit of that in the future. I haven't actually done it yet. So when we start a game, we're going to be picking our character, male, female, names, their names. A lot of the pronunciations here I'm probably going to mess up just because I'm not familiar with the way you pronounce most of these words. Let's just randomize. Let's see. Vedis Falgerier. That's probably not right at all. I apologize to everyone and everything. That's a cool picture. Let's see. I won't spend too much time here, but I just kind of want to show you the options. We should at least probably match up the hair color, though. Okay. Large, medium, thin. Go with the large. I can't really see her face. I can kind of make out scars. Let's see if we can get it looking like the picture. Let's see. No. It's probably gonna be about the closest. Bracelets, layered, sleeves. Let's do that. Simple tunic, leather tunic. Ooh, a fancy dress. Let's go with a leather tunic. Loosely wrapped, I guess? Let's round the colors, if you want to. Sure, that looks fine. And there are going to be a lot of skills in this game, which is what kind of makes me excited. This is going to be a game where you can just finely tune your character. There really is no classes. There are some presets here if you want to, well, select a preset. If you don't want to spend time going through here, we can pick a Berserker, and it will automatically assign your starting points here. You can see into some axes, into a Dane axe, which is going to be your two-hander. We have offensive skills, support skills, utility skills, which are kind of like for camping situations. There's like, there's camping in this game. And then we have passive skills. You can see there are so many skills, and each skill has a different set of costs to upgrade. And then when you upgrade it, you're going to be able to see the path here for each individual skill and what it does. So for being a Berserker, we are 2 ranks into the axe. So we have this ability, Shield Hook. We can pull opponent's shield away and then do half damage to them, guaranteed without having to worry about block. And then axe damage is being increased by 20. The Dane Axe level 1 unlocks the skill. Reckless Strike if we have a Dane Axe equipped. What else did the Berserker get? We'll probably just go with the preset here. It's going to be easier. Charge, make a melee attack with +5 damage for every hex you move before attacking the target. Dual wielding? So the Berserker, an axe, a Dane axe, which again I believe is a two-hander, and then also dual wielding. Hook and slash. Use the offhand weapon to pull away the opponent's shield and immediately make an unblockable attack with the main hand weapon. That sounds kind of similar to this move here. You know what? Hold on. Oh, but this is also going to upgrade just the axe damage overall, and we'll probably dual wield axes. I see what they're going for here. And then also two-handed. Okay, cool. Interrupt. Postpone a ranged attack until you have at least 75% chance to hit an enemy during the enemy's turn. I don't see why we would need that. We're not going to probably do anything with bow. Oh, I can't downgrade this? Really? Can we not change? We can change that one. Interesting. What other skills do we have? In the support skills, it's going to be like healing skills and, well, support stuff. We can taunt. Show our bare ass forces the target to move their full movement toward the user. Very effective taunt. Halves the user's move, but allows them to move through traps and attacks of opportunity without engaging them. For utility skill, we have some cooking. There's also slowing the risk of infections. There's a guard stat over here, so your security during camping. Like, there's so much stuff, and honestly, I don't know what a lot of it does yet, because there's so many skills in this game. But it's exciting because it's, you know, you find out what works, you find out what doesn't. But yeah, so there you go. There's tons of skills. And over here we have our primary stats, and if you hover over each one, it's going to tell you exactly what it does. It's going to show you all of your stats down here, and these reflect what's down here. So if we go down to 9, you'll see that our physical resistance, which is what this is, goes down to 28%, but we'll leave it at 10, I guess. Sense is a thing for like leader characters and characters who want to go down like the witchcraft, quote unquote. Now again, this isn't fantasy, so like witchcraft in here is like brewing potions and things like that. You can find some of that in these supportive skills here. So, man, we're going to be pretty strong because strength is going to increase our base damage and physical resistance. Our endurance is our hit points and our base block chance, I believe. Yes. Let's see. It affects stamina, endurance. Okay, cool. Finesse, base damage with knives and spears, not that important for us. Perception is going to be accuracy with ranged weapons. Again, not that important for us. You can also lower these skills if you want to and put them into other things. So you know what, we'll just do that. We're going to be a very strong berserker. It's going to be cool. And again, like the first time I went through this, I spent probably a good 40 minutes just looking over every single skill, what its upgrade path was. All of these passive skills, there are so many, and it's awesome that there are. But for right now, since we're just kind of taking a quick look here, let's just click done. I am satisfied with our character.
Your father was a great warrior and a good husband, but he was not a strong chieftain to his clan. As he travels to join his brothers in the halls of Valhalla, you must take his place. Our clan is beset by petty squabbles. Some amongst our people would contest your claim to leadership, as they saw discord our neighbors plot against us. Gather your most trusted clansmen. Together you will face dangers which none can predict. You will be challenged on your leadership, your resolve, your wisdom. Build a ship and take your housecarls across the sea. Power and strength for our clan must be sought outside the Norselands. If you show yourself to be bold, the gods will follow you into battle. Your legacy will live for 1,000 years beyond your time. Our clan must prevail.
Aid me, Odin, in my effort to bind the struggles of a bygone time as glimmering light on glass. Okay. And here we go, the beginning of the game. So our father has passed. This is going to be their funeral here, and our ascension as the Thane. It is the evening after your father's funeral. It tells you all of our stats up here. When you close your eyes, the image of his blazing ship shimmers in the dark behind your eyelids. It's not a common ritual this far south, but your mother, Astrider, again, I apologize for my pronunciations of these names, who hails from the lands of the Geats, insisted on it. All the thanes of the neighboring clans have come to attend your feast in his honor. Your father may not have been the most successful thane, but as a warrior, he commanded the respect of many. The guests are filling into your longhouse. The thanes enter first, each trailing a modest group of warriors. Your mother leans in to whisper a few words of advice before she takes her seat. You should greet each of the thanes before the feast begins, but listen well to their words. Few of them would benefit from making this a smooth transition. It will be important to know where they stand. So now we can explore around this room. The main objective is going to be talking to, I believe, actually the main objective is right here. So this little golden icon, that's the main objective. The optional is going to be all these little gray ones. So we're going to go around and talk to all of these thanes. School Skullcleaver is the thane of Yelling, which borders your area. Yelling is a large territory, and School is one of the most powerful thanes in Jutland. Yelling, I think it's pronounced with a Y, right? Yelling has prospered under his rule. I don't know. I'm not sure. School pushes himself away from the table with his foot, the chair making a grinding sound across the wooden floor. His face shows earnest sympathy. Vedis, my girl, so sorry about about your father. If there's anything the people of Yelling can do to aid you in these trying times, don't hesitate to ask. It's very kind of you. Of course, we must all stand together against the Frankish threats. Okay. Skull leans towards you, resting his elbow on the table. Tell me, what are your plans for this place? How will you lead your clan? Oh... Well, we know that we eventually go to Britain, because that's an option in the beginning of the game. But I'm gonna say expand our defenses. You really are Falgarier's daughter, aren't you? Just take care not to lose touch of your people's needs and your eagerness to defend them. He lets out a deep sigh and leans back into his seat. I'm sure you know I fought with your father many years ago. We were very much of a similar inclination, he and I. That man had a real taste for battle, not like his brothers. Mark my words, Vetus, true bonds are forged in battle, not bound in blood. He came to me for advice before he mounted his last journey, on account of my ties to Kopang. I should have warned him better about what he was getting himself into. What does Kopang have to do with it? Vikings out of Kopang have been to the isles across the sea. I've heard many stories about it, since I often go there to trade. Your father wanted to hear if the stories were true. But I have taken too much of your time already. I know you have other guests to entertain. Perhaps we'll talk later, after a bit more mead. Skull nods more to himself than to you and turns his attention to the food on the table. Halfdan is the thane of a slightly larger clan that borders your lands to the east. He wears a solemn expression and nods heavily when you approach him. Falgerir is in Valhalla now? It's supposed to be Valhalla, right? Just another way to say it, maybe? I don't know. There is no doubt about it. He died doing what he loved. But while he feasts among the heroes, you're left back here to sort out the pieces. You've got your work cut out for you. What do you mean? Your father managed to make quite a few enemies in this time, most of them among his own clan. If you'll permit me to be honest, he never paid one speck of attention to the wishes or needs of his people. Surely you're not expecting your claim to leadership to go uncontested. I am the rightful thane. If anyone thinks otherwise, we'll sort it out the traditional way. Good. Worse problems than this have been solved at the tip of a spear or the edge of a blade. May the gods favor you if it comes to that. Halfdanir empties his mug of mead in a single gulp, then slams the mug into the table and calls to a thrall. Okay. Down here, real quickly, we have inventory. We have the characters and skill. Actually, we just open this up. So we got inventory. I'm going to close up these little tutorial messages. So this is where all of our stuff is. We can equip here. We can see our stats here. And what's really handy is that as we equip items, the all these percentages will go up or down. So you see on the fly like exactly what the items are doing to your character. Over here we have these skill tabs. So these are all the skills we saw when we were creating the characters. This is going to be our party menu because there are going to be party members later on, and we can also level them up. The way we level up is going to be we're going to have to collect SP, which we get from questing and I think like fights and some other things. So that's what this menu is. The homestead is kind of interesting. So we get to upgrade our homestead, our town here, with all of these different upgrades. And as we upgrade them, they're either going to give us more prosperity or more power, depending on which upgrade we take. And the little tutorial message says that depending on how strong your homestead is, it could affect the end of the game. I don't know if you're going to be attacked at some point in your homestead, and these things will affect that at all, or if this is just literally just a menu system where you're upgrading these numbers and that's really it. To upgrade these things, you will require resources, and the resources you need are located down here. Actually, like all the resources in the game, like rations to feed yourself, meat, valuables, which is your trade resource, your slaves. Slaves could be used to work on a homestead upgrade quicker. Kind of like a mobile game where you assign like, I don't know, like real currency to speed things up. That's kind of what the slaves are like. Wood, all these types of resources down there. And then we have the quest log as the last one here. I've not been able to unlock the codex yet. But so there you go. That's what the menus are down there. Let's continue talking. Your elder brother Rurik always had a penchant for music. He looks up and gives you a warm smile as you approach him. Good evening, sis, Rurik grins. I mean, my honored thane. How do you feel? I'm fine. How are you about yourself? Rook shrugs. You can barely hear his soft voice over the din of the feast. I'm certain father is feasting with Odin now. The old man will surely be more at home in Valhalla than he ever was here. How has everyone been treating you? There have been some snide remarks, but mother has always been more of a thane than our father ever was, so in a way, this changes nothing. To tell you the truth, I think our clansmen are almost as relieved as I am that you took on the mantle. Alright, so that's our older brother. Kettle is standing off to his side holding a horn full of mead. The young hunter appears to be watching the feast with a faintly amused expression, and he nods respectfully when you come near. Busy entertaining your guests. Not too busy to check in on you. I believe this is one of our friends. I've had an uneasy feeling all night. Have you seen Skull's Huskarls over there in the corner? Hrodgerda and Skaki. I've heard stories about them. Nefja seems to be expecting trouble too, so I've decided to go easy on the mean and keep an eye out. I appreciate that. Never hurts to be careful. He throws his head back slightly towards Aslefir. Speaking of which, keep an eye on the big lug back there. He and his friends have been putting their heads together all night. I think he might be planning something. Aslefir is family. He wouldn't attack me. Sure, he wouldn't do anything underhanded, but it's basically tradition for your families to fight over who gets to sit on the big chair. But this is your feast. I'll watch Aslefir and his friends. You should relax and enjoy yourself. Let's go talk to Aslefir. Aslefir is a distant cousin. Leadership of the clan has moved between your side of the family and his for generations. He's known as a skilled warrior and a hard worker. Aslefir sits with his two closest friends. He looks up when you approach his end of the table. Neither of his friends acknowledges your presence. His tone is respectful but slightly cold. Our condolences on the passing of your father. At least he died the way he would have wanted. He will be feasting with the gods tonight. Thank you. I hope there's no bad blood between us. Aslefir seems to consider this for a while before replying. It's no secret I didn't agree with how Falgir ruled our clan. Bearing this in mind, I don't see what gives you the right to succeed him. But this feast is in his honor, and I will not insult his memory here, nor will I challenge your claim to leadership. You believe you would be more suited to lead us? Aslefir leans forward and looks you directly in the eyes. I do. Because my father failed you? It is not our way to let rulership simply pass from father to daughter. If we are to become a strong clan again, we must appoint the best warrior as Thane. You are not the strongest of us, merely the less weak of your father's children. Ooh. If you believe the gods favor you in this, I hope you will get the chance to prove it. But I will not simply wait for you to falter and bring the whole clan to ruin. You're wrong. I hope you will give me a chance to prove it. Yeah, sure. Aslefir simply nods once, then he returns his attention to his companions. So that guy may be in some trouble. Ragnhildr the White is the most influential of your guests. As the vassal of King Sigurd Hring, she is the current ruler of Denmark. She has come from the trade hub of Ribe to the south, where she presides as Jarl. She nods politely as you approach her seat. It was a beautiful ceremony, Vetis. I extend my condolences for your loss on behalf of Ribe and of the king. I must tell you, I advised him not to seek out the isles across the sea. We've all heard the stories of the unprotected coast and their treasures, but there is more danger than the rumors let on. I'm not surprised they claimed his life, but I am glad at least he died with a sword in his hand. Did you know Falgir well? I knew him as a warrior. We fought together on the Bravelier, and he struck me as a shrewd tactician. When your king needs you, I hope that you will serve him as well as your father did. We'll circumvent the comment there and say my father taught me everything you knew about combat. That is another mark in the man's favor. I never saw a reason why women shouldn't be taught to fight just like any man. A village where the womenfolk know how to hold a sword is a village with twice as many warriors, after all. Okay, that would be polite. Thank you for accepting the invitation. You're honored that you can make it. Of course, your father's sword would be missed in our struggles against the Franks. The old shield maiden smiles. She gracefully slides back down into her seat, whereupon she spears a large piece of chicken with her knife and dumps it on her plate. Okay, and this is going to be our other friend, Nefja. Nefja is one of your oldest, or I guess it would be Nefja, because again, I think J's are pronounced, yeah, I don't know. Your families have always been close, and you grew up together in the village. She's just finished pouring your mother a mug of mead. There you are. The feast seems to be off to a good start. It's nice to see you out of your armor for once. Nefja snorts sarcastically. You've seen my sister in this dress before. Surely that's the same thing. She closes her eyes and rubs the bridge of her nose with a finger. God, she was so excited to see me like this. I'll never hear the end of it. I think this is her sister's name. Where is Ephura? A sardonic undertone creeps in Nefja's voice. My poor sister has a fever again. She has such a frail constitution. All the sweat cold is hard on her. Mother stayed home to care for her. Okay, what do you think of our guests? Your fellow Thanes are certainly a proud and graceful bunch, even as they plot to murder you and take our lands. You think that poorly of them? Oh, I'm sure not all of them are actively planning to kill us. I have a weird feeling about school, though. I doubt they call him Skull Cleaver for no reason. Halfdaner plays the lovable old grump, but I know he's had his eyes on our harbor for years. Ranghilder, I'm not sure about. She probably has nothing to gain from destroying us, but she's little more than Sigurdar's ring's appendage, and who knows where he stands. Alright, so we've talked to all the people. You can press, what is this, tab? Alt. You can hold Alt to highlight everything, which is important a little bit later when you want to get collectibles. Like, oh, this barrel is lit up. Let's go click on it. Oh, look, there's an item in there. You know, like other RPGs. Following the initial meet and greet, everyone toasts to your father and digs into the meal. Food covers every inch of the table, and the freshly brewed mead seems to flow endlessly. You're listening to Nefja's usual complaints about her mother when Kettle perks up and slips discreetly out of the longhouse. Outside, some piece of pottery crashes against the ground, and men begin to shout. In short order, the door flies open and the doorway is filled with Otar Erlingsson, sword in hand. Outside, you see his brother standing over the prone form of Kettle. Otar looks around the room with disgust. What a splendid feast for such a shit thane. Ooh. Otar's gaze stops on you. He raises his sword to point at you accusingly. Vetus, your family had its chance to earn our respect, and you wasted it. Come outside and defend your honor, or we will burn this hall to the ground. Nefja jumps to her feet already holding her knife, her voice seized with disgust. Otar, you miserable drunkard. How dare you attack your thane's honor during her own feast? Your family will pay for this. Otar has turned his back on you and is already walking back outside. All the other guests turn their gaze to you in anticipation. Your mother leans in to whisper in your ear. You have to handle this. If the other thanes think we're too weak to deal with such a blow against our family's honor. This will not stand. Nefja, are you with me? A shadow sets across Nefja's face. By the gods, he's going to make us kill him this time, isn't he? And now we get to the combat of the game. Let's go grab our weapons from this rack. Utility axe, a simple knife, and a trophy Dane axe. Let's take all. And we're going to go into the equipment tab, and we have a primary and secondary weapon. So let's go with the trophy Dane axe as our primary. And then dual wield with the knife. Let's see. Would the knife be the primary or the secondary weapon in a dual wield situation? I think it'd be the secondary? I don't know. Well, that works too. And then we also have mead, which can increase our strength for 3 turns, if you want to use that during combat. And then Nefja here has just a simple spear. Spears in this game do have a default attack of 2 hexes. This is a hex-based game. Her skills, let's see. Here we go. She is good with the knife, proficient with the spear. She can feint, so she can provoke attacks of opportunity, I think for free. I don't think they actually get to attack you, but it does take them away because there are attacks of opportunity. Postpone a range attack. For support skills, she can tactical moves, so she can move through an attack of opportunity or traps. And then passively, flanking damage multiplier is reduced by 15% points against this character. So flanking is a thing. When people are on opposite sides of the character, then they will flank, and I guess she has lower damage for that. Cool. We don't have any passive skills as Berserker, do we? No, we don't. Alright. So now we have our weapons. They are equipped. Let us head outside. Most of the guests follow you outside and form a half circle behind you. You're dimly aware of the other Thanes muttering among themselves. Nefja runs over to Kettle to help him back to his feet. A streak of blood runs from his hair down his cheek, but it looks like he can still fight. 4 against 1. This is what the sons of Erling Thorgilson consider a fair fight. Otar's brother Toast sneers. He sounds drunk. Shut your mouth, woman. Ye started it. Will you be alright, Kettle? The hunter wipes mud out of his eye. It's nothing. Toast hits like a little girl. In fact, no, I'm certain Nefja could do far more damage when she was little. You sniveling little shit. Come over here and say that again. Well, we are a berserker. You snakes, you will die for this. Otar shifts his weight restlessly as he regards the Thanes assembled behind you. You're outnumbered, Vedis, unless you want to crawl to the other Thanes for help. As Nefja steps forward and draws his weapon. You've gone too far, Otar. There is no honor in this. I must take Vedis aside here. For a moment, confusion mixes with fright in Otar's eyes, but he quickly composes himself. Fine. We'll kill you all. Then I'll be Thane. And here we go. We're going to dismiss these tutorial messages. So really briefly on the UI here. You can move any character at any time that you want to. There are no turn orders. It goes, you know, like it's not my character, then them, then her, then it's just your side, their side. Those types of turn orders. These little lines, the green line means we can move and still attack. Kind of like XCOM. Think a little bit of XCOM. And then if we want to, we can then expend our attack action and go and move through the yellow spaces. Again, just like an XCOM system. The red shows that we still have an attack action. That will fade to gray if we decide to use our move action into yellow. And, well, yeah, that's basically it. So here we go. We got our Dane Axe. These are going to be all of our skills. Again, at any time, we can move any of these people that we want to. I believe we can, like, move this guy. And then we don't even have to do anything else with him. We can then go to this guy and attack because he has a bow. So let's actually just do that. What do we got? Signal arrow. All enemies adjacent to the target hex gain the status spotted. They cannot use low cover. Range attacks versus character have increased accuracy. So this is going to be a free action, as you can see right there. So this is not going to spend our attack action. So we're going to activate this and launch the signal arrow. Status effects of the characters are going to appear below their health bar. So this is showing that he has -3 to senses because he, I forget what the status effect is actually called, but he got a blow to the head, and so that's taken into account right here. So now we can still attack this guy. Make 2 range attacks at -30% accuracy each, but we have that signal arrow right here, so let's hit 2. And then, let's see, 65% chance to hit, and it breaks down all their stats, their resistances, chance to hit, damage, all that good stuff. So we're going to try for this move here. Alright. Did it go again? Alright, I guess we gotta activate it again. There it is, both hit. Nice. Very, very, very good. And since we have now used our attack action, we can no longer move, and you see the lines are grayed out. So, there you go. I guess if you use this, because normally you can attack and move. I guess with quick shot, you can only attack twice, and you're not allowed to move afterwards, because normally you can attack and move. So then we can go back to this guy, and even though we already moved him, we can come back at any time as long as he has actions left. And let's go with, oh, he has kind of like an Overwatch, like a melee Overwatch move. But we are going to go with a stun. We're going to try and stun this guy. So let's see. His stun has a 26% chance to resist, because stun, I believe, is a physical thing in this game, and so that's going to be applied against their physical resistance. So let's see if we make it. And they resisted the stun. The stun. So now the red line is done because we use our attack action, but we can still move if we want to, but we're just going to kind of chill here. Let's see, Nefja, she has an attack range of 2, so we are going to utilize that and just attack from right here. And boom, that dude's dead. So sometimes a character will writhe on the ground, which means you can go next to them and get them back up into the fight. And the longer you let them writhe on the ground, just kind of incapacitated, what's it's saying right here, the more injuries are going to accumulate, or they're just going to be dead. And this guy is just dead. We still have our move action. There is a bowman right here. So what I'm going to do is, there is cover in this game. Again, like XCOM, there is full and half cover. And actually, it's going to, here, I'll just read this one here. A character has just entered cover. Cover comes in either in high or low, which is visualized by the shields hovering next to the hexes. When it applies, cover blocks attacks completely. There is no partial cover. You're either in cover or you're not. Cover protects you against range attacks from the direction of the space with cover, so, you know, from this way. The thing is, though, a person in low cover will automatically stand up to shoot over it, but will also be forced to stand up if the enemy stands next to them. High cover will still work if an enemy is next to you because it's full cover. So that's kind of the difference between full and half. Is if there's an enemy next to you, you're kind of forced out of low cover, basically. So that's that. We can still move if we want to, but we're just going to kind of hang out there. And then for us, we're going to move up with our Dane Axe. Deal double damage, but makes you unbalanced, which lose all moves at beginning of next turn. I'm fine with this. And I think... I'm pretty sure every melee attack is going to hit. The only thing that can stop it is their block chance, which is going to be of 18% right here. But besides that, melee attacks go through. Oh! Yeah, I'd say that was worth it. I'd say that was worth it a lot, actually. So now we're going to end our turn. Oh, also at any time, you can incapacitate your enemies. You can switch to non-lethal damage if you want to. And I guess there's story reasons that you may want to do that to keep certain people alive. But so far, in what I've tested this game, they don't straight up tell you, like, hey, maybe you should keep this character alive. So it's kind of, I guess, up to you. Oh, we've been spotted. Oh, no, you healed him. Uh-oh. Okay. That's fine. That's totally fine. So he walked into the spotted area, so we're just going to use that double arrow, I think, again. What else do we have, though? Postpone a range attack until you have at least 75% chance to hit. A kick that moves the target 1 hex away. Cripple deals 25% damage, but takes away all the target's moves in the next turn. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. Also, tactical move and can spot traps. We're just going to go with the double hit to the face. I wonder if instead maybe we just move. Hold on. Let's click that down. And if we move closer... Oh, but we moved. Right, so I can't actually do it now. All right. Well, what's the chance to hit now, though? 95%. So it did raise up by 5, because again, this skill takes away 30%, and we were at 60, right? So distance does play into ranged combat here. That's some decent damage. And we're probably just going to move him back. Actually, doesn't really matter. The Nephia, her skill here, we can attack 3 hexes away, but at less damage if you want to, but we're just going to go blah. And that dude is not dead. He's writhing on the ground. We're going to try and, I think, just attack this guy. Very good. And then for us, just another attack. Whoo! He is also not dead. And then we're just going to stand still. 7 damage. Let me tell you something about 7 damage. We do 100. Oh my. When I tested this, I wasn't using two-handed weapons. Holy crap, those things do so much damage. Alright, so this is going to be the combat results screen. Whenever you see the finished combat, you will see the screen, which has a few pieces of information. If a character was injured during combat, any new injuries will be displayed here. They will need to be treated the next time you make camp. Here you will also see any items still equipped by your herdman. If you used any items during combat, it will be shown here as well. You can see we have a torch from Aslafir that we could have used. Then also you will see items equipped by each character. Any item that lost durability during the fight will be indicated by a red arrow, which is not here, so we're fine there. No new injuries, but Kettle did have the existing injury of light trauma to the head before the fight started, so he still has that. Otar Erlingsson lies on the frozen earth in a small pool of his own blood. His blank eye gazed at the sky. He did not make it. Otar's surviving brothers are slowly getting to their feet. None of them has any fight left in them. Nefir regards the survivors with a mixture of disdain and sadness. What do we do with them? We execute them. The grim work does not take long. Your guests look on solemnly as the snow in front of your feast hall turns red with the blood of the farmers. If any of them doubted your resolve before, now they see what you are made of. I guess 2 of them took that guy down. As the Fear steps forward, he looks not in the least bit tired from the fight. I supported you here tonight because Otar and his brothers were out of line. It is not the way of our clan to kill each other in the drunken brawls. Vetis, daughter of Felgir, I challenge you to a duel for the position of Thane. An excited murmur rises among the guests. Kettle mutters in a voice too low for anyone other than you and Nefia to hear. Can you believe this son of a bitch? It's his right to issue such a challenge. His timing could be better, though. As the fierce son of Grim Varder, I accept your challenge. He nods, apparently satisfied. We will meet on Holmgang Island at noon on the morrow. May the gods favor you. And now we can explore, which is what this is saying. So we can click on the map and see what this area is. So this is going to be our homestead. Anything of interest, like a burial site or a blacksmith, witch's hut is down here. And now we can kind of go around, and if we hold Alt, we can see all the interactables that we can click on, like this. But over in all of these barrels, there are going to be items, like tar and meat. And then they will be added to our stockpile down here. And there's a lot. And this is basically telling us to hold Alt and do what I'm doing right now. And this is a little weird because we're getting all these items, but aren't they already in, our town? So are we just kind of robbing from ourselves? It's odd. And when we're ready, we can discuss our options with our mother back at the longhouse there. I'm not going to go around the entire town in this one, but as you can see, there are other items that we can loot. Before we start talking to her, I'm going to open up the homestead screen, and we should have enough resources to upgrade the farm. So this will give us prosperity, and again, prosperity and power are the 2 kind of currencies up. Well, I don't just say currencies, but the 2 numbers up here. And all I know about them is that apparently if you have a certain amount, it will affect the end of the game. Don't know what that means. Don't know how it affects it, but it does. Edis gets a new fence and a couple more Aerox, and the animal pens are cleaned up. Costs 25 wood and 250 valuables. Sure. So, this upgrade will take 1 week to complete. Selecting slaves to work on this upgrade will reduce the time it takes to complete. Building an upgrade takes time. Assign thralls to upgrade the speed of construction. You will never get your thralls back, but without them, you are unlikely to finish all upgrades before the game is over. For this, let's just see. 6 days, 18. That's not that much quicker. Huh. I wonder if it's just a percentage. So like on buildings that take longer, the thralls would be better. We'll spend 1, just because. Alright, so 6 days, 18 hours. And now let's go talk to our friends. I can't believe it came to this. A man that bitter with sons that stupid. It was just a matter of time. We'll have to deal with Erlinger after the duel tomorrow. We were unquestionably in the right tonight, but we dealt a great blow to Erlinger. That's probably not how you pronounce that. Time will tell. Trying to talk to you. Oh, ooh, rations. Off that corpse. There we go. Let me fight him. Let's see. I had to take this fight myself. You know that. You have the right to ask another to fight on your behalf. If others see that another warrior is willing to risk her life for you, that is just as worthy of respect as if you beat Asthafir yourself. That is what being a Thane is all about. Let's just see what happens. It's good to know that you got my back. Oh, I forgot to talk to you. Crap. Well, we'll see if we can talk to her after we talk to the mom. Your mother wraps you in a warm embrace. There is a hint of tears in her eyes. Well fought, my child. Your father would be so proud. There will be another fight tomorrow. I know. As the Fear is a skilled warrior, you would do well to make some preparations. What can I do? It may not seem like it right now, but most of our clan remains loyal to us. If nothing else, then because they'd prefer you as Thane over as the Fear. Go to Hulda in the bog and ask her for help. She is old and wise, and she has many ways to weaken a man. It'll take more than an old hack brew to beat as the Fear. Sigridur may have an idea. She is good at setting traps for the creatures of the forest. She may know of a trap large enough for a man. Other than that, Kevdulfer. Sorry, my mouth is not used to pronouncing words like this. May be willing to get you some better equipment. You shouldn't go into the duel with those old weapons Falgir gave you for training. So now we have options. We can talk to all three of them. We can not and just end the feast. But talking to all three of them will give you an edge in tomorrow's fight. So that's going to be up to you. But first, we're going to talk to you. Dark eyes size you up under elaborately braided hair. There's something mysterious and dangerous about this woman. You made short work of those mules. Woman after my own heart. I must admit I enjoyed it. She smiles, and you're reminded of the snake on school's banner. Oh, you enjoyed it, did you? Good for you. Might want to keep that sort of thing to yourself in the future, though. Subtlety will take you far, even around here. I'm glad I got a chance to meet you now. I'm sure this won't be the last time we see each other. She holds up her cup in salute, then slithers away into the crowd without asking your leave. Boom. And now we're going to go talk to these three people, because I want as much help as I can against the upcoming fight. The smith has retreated to the familiar confines of his workshop, where he's engaged in an energetic discussion with his wife, Daghirder. They break it up when they see you coming. She wanders off to find someone else with whom to gossip. So Erlinger finally lost control of his idiot sons, did he? Glad to see you made it out of that mess in one piece. I'm in need of a weapon for tomorrow. Sorry, my girl. I'm not selling you a blade knowing you'll use it against the clansmen. Azafir used to help out in the smithy as a child. I won't have either of your blood on my conscience. I don't plan to kill him. I just have to beat him to defend my seat. The smith crosses his massive arms and shakes his head. Such things rarely go according to plan. In the heat of the moment, with a sword in your hand, I won't be responsible. The decision is final. So, over the course of the game, different stats will have an effect over conversations like this one. If we had a high sense, I don't know if we're going to pass this, even though it's easy. My other character I tested with had a sense of like 7, and we did it, but we'll see here. Kevduller, deny my request will not keep Azafir safe. It will only put me in danger. See, there we go. We failed with only a sense of 1. You try to convince to see things your way, how withholding equipment from you that Azafir already has is more likely to get you killed than to protect him. But you flounder, and there is no persuasive force behind your words. No amount of silver can cover up a conscience soaked in blood. Best you get out of here. I wish the both of you good luck tomorrow. Try not to kill each other. That kind of sucks, because he gives you really good armor. So... Darn. Alright, the other person we can talk to is going to be over here. I suppose we can pick up some items on the way. But most of the stuff that you collect are going to be just these things. Just little items to add to your talents collection. I didn't ever find like any like weapons or anything in them. Sigridur is the clan's best hunter and is married to the other full-time hunter, Djolter. She bowed her head respectfully as you approach her. Well, Madfetis, I witnessed Altafir's challenge. Is there anything I can do to help? Is it possible to trap a man the way one might trap a bear? A trap for combat? Interesting idea. Reminds me of something your uncle Grimulfer told me once. He was with Falgir in Getland to fight for Sigurd the Ring, and he was tasked to ambush a group of mercenaries riding to reinforce the enemy. According to Grimulfer, your father wanted to split up the riders with a surprise attack, so he had the idea of suspending a strong net above the path and running the rope across the ground concealed by branches. When the first horse stepped onto the rope, it came loose, and and drop the net down onto the rider, tangling him up and causing him to fall off the horse. Can you do it? It hinges on whether he expects a trap and how well it's hidden. I know how to hide a trap well enough from anyone. Let's try it. I'll start preparing. The worst thing that can happen is that you'll have to fight him like normal. Alright, and then we can go down to the witch's hut, way down here. We're going to have to talk to the witch's apprentice, Roskva the Black. We are pretty fast. It really sucks not having that blacksmith's armor. It has like 28 or 30% damage reduction. Because right now we're just in basic clothes. The witch's apprentice is tending the candles around the old tree. She stands when she sees you, squinting through damp locks of raven black hair that droop in front of her face. Why are you here? I'm here to see Hulda. The girl fidgets with the candle in her hand, picking at the wax with a long nail. Are you sure? Today isn't one of her good days. What do you mean? Some days she's all there, other days her mind travels. No telling where she went today, but it must be far away. Has she been this way for long? Long enough that I'm used to it. It's gotten worse lately, though. Must have been hard. She shrugs. I'll ask her to come out. So we're going to be asking her to brew a potion that can weaken somebody. The old witch emerges from her burrow, supported by her brooding apprentice. Her knees shake with each slow step, and she wears an expression of deep concern. She stops a few yards outside the hut and blinks at you confused. What are you doing home so soon? Did you decide not to go? What are you talking about? I made an offering to Thor when you left, and that same night he struck the big willow with a thunderbolt. He brought you back safely, just as he showed me that he would. This is Vedis, the daughter of Falgir and Astrider. Do you remember her? The old witch blinks again. She looks at Roskva for a long moment, as though searching for something in the girl's eyes. Then she shakes her head, annoyed. Of course I remember. Don't give me that look like I wouldn't remember. Her attention turns back to you, but her voice is an impatient bark now. Why are you here? Can you make a poison for me? She holds up a hand, one long, dirty, frayed nail pointing straight at you. I told you that you would need the mixture, but you wouldn't take it. Hulda. Venom sizzles beneath the old witch's curt admonishment. Quiet, girl. For a long moment, nobody speaks. Hulda's eyes bore into you long past the point of discomfort, and then they seem to glaze over. I was hoping you could help me. Of course I'll help you. I always do what I can for you. Last time I gave a good fat rabbit to Thor, that he might watch over you on your journey. That very night, the big willow was struck by a thunderbolt. The apprentice tugs gently at the crone's arm. You already said that, Hulda. The old woman grabs Roskva's hand and digs her nails into the underside of the girl's wrist. Roskva winces visibly. Don't lie, useless cow. I know what I said. I'm not an idiot. You're not well today. Your memory... The old hag screams so spittle flies from her mouth. Get out of here. Go. I don't want to see you here again. Don't you ever come back here, you lying goat. Roskva sighs, defeated, and walks away. On her way past you, she pauses and mumbles so only you can hear. That's the third time today she's banished me forever. She'll call me back when she wets her bed again. Hulda stares after her apprentice through narrow eyes as she leaves. Shouldn't talk to Roskva that way. She's out to make me look like an imbecile so she can be the new witch. Don't listen to a word she says. There's nothing wrong with me. But you told the same story twice. Don't you dare. I know what I said. Just tell me what you want so I can be rid of you. I need a poison to weaken a man in combat. I offered you a poison. You wouldn't take it. It's gone now. It doesn't keep that long. I have to make a new batch. It'll take at least 2 days. Huh. I think we're done here. I hope you get well. Hulda shouts after you as you leave. There's nothing wrong with me. It's just that evil girl. Fine, get out of here. And don't ever come back. She's not a very happy person. But then we can talk to Roskva. is timid, mumble when you find her again. I'm sorry you had to see her this way. She's just having a bad day. Nothing to apologize for. It's kind of you to say that, but I agree for Holda. She is a wise woman with a lifetime of knowledge of the plants, the gods, and the spirits. I hate to see her mind unravel like this. If you caught her on a better day, I know she could have helped you help with your duel. How much of that knowledge did she pass on to you? The young witch musters a half smile. Holda has taught me a lot of herbs and mushrooms, of how to make pain go away, or how to cause it. She sticks an arm deep into her knapsack and pulls out a small jar. It's a powder. If he ingests this in the morning, he'll barely be able to stand at noon. How will I get him to eat it? I'll bring him a concoction and tell him it'll make him stronger and ensure the gods will favor him tomorrow. Won't that make him seek revenge on you? Roscoe's lips curl into a sardonic smile. If you win, you could protect me. Please make sure you win. Alright, so we got her help. And the trapper's help. So now let's go back. And do the duel. Oh, right. We gotta rest first. Or, hold on. Let's talk to her. Oh. Okay. No actual dialogue boxes, just these little things. Let's see. Do you wish to return to your guests and end tonight's events? End the feast. End the feast. There we go. Next day at noon. High noon. You come to the island Holmgang on the following day, rowing one of the clan's small boats in the company of Nefja and Kettle. Sigrider and Yulter greet you there, having come out in advance to set the stakes that define the arena. The huntress points to a small patch of branches on the ground. I fastened the rope over there. The log is well concealed among the branches overhead, but try to keep Asafir's attention on you when he comes. If he comes. Perhaps he thought better of it and decided to stay home. Or perhaps Thor will happen to drop Mjolnir from the sky and coincidentally crush Asafir's boat on the way here. You better show up or I'll row back and haul him out here myself. If it came to that, surely there'd be a better resolution. Asafir has the sense and the stubbornness of a mule, but he's still family. Your challenger arrives a short time later, accompanied by two other young men from his side of the family, the same companions he sat with at your feast. Alright, let's get this done. Asafir looks dizzy and wary. He has dark rings under his eyes. He doesn't even look at you as he walks into the ring. His voice is a hoarse bark. I'm here to fight you, as agreed. Are you ready? Nefja addresses you, but keeps her eyes on Asafir as she speaks. Vedis, I volunteer to fight in your place. Your offer humbles me, but this is my fight. You walk into the ring opposite Asafir, and Sigurdur motions to your opponent. As the challenger in this dispute, it falls on you to recite the rules of the duel. Asafir clears his throat and impatiently recites the clan's traditional rules for single combat. I, Asafir, son of Grenvardr, have challenged Vedis, daughter of Falgir, for the right to rule our clan. The winner shall sit as Thane of Skjern and reside in his longhouse. He shall receive no other reward beyond this. Should she survive, she who is defeated may swear fealty to the winner, or her life is forfeit. If either of us falls in the duel, their body shall be buried here. All weapons are permitted. The duel will end when either warrior is dead or incapable of continuing the fight. He gives a final respectful nod and brandishes his weapon. As the challenged, the first strike is yours to make. So we're going to have to break all three of his shields here. So let's get to it. Actually, we want him to get netted, I guess. So what we're going to do... We're gonna hope that he moves into a straight line. And then we're gonna charge this guy. Hopefully I can move that far and charge. Yeah, we should be fine. Okay. We'll taunt. Alright. Taunt action. And then in. Ah! You've been netted, friend! Charge! Ooh. Brutal. So the blue bar above his health bar is the durability of the shield. That was brutal. Has an attack of opportunity, so we're just gonna kind of sit. Actually, that's us. Do we gain anything by running away? I don't think so. Because the net breaks his turn. Oh no, I guess we did. Shoot. Well. Boom. But he's gonna get up and we have to break his other shields, even though he broke Cypher. You've been keeping your skills sharp even without your father around to train you. He trained us both. What do you even have against him? He was a great warrior, and like everyone else, I respected him for that. But if the king should raise the Ledanger army tomorrow, how many able-bodied warriors could our clan muster? A dozen? Half the women in the clan are widows, and Falgir's foolhardy expeditions are the cause of it. He bangs his weapon against the second shield and gives you a somber nod. We're not going to be able to charge. So reckless attack! Don't hit the shield! Yes! Oh my god. I did this one last time with a one-hand and shield, and it took a while, but good god, these reckless attacks. Like, who needs movement? You know? It's so powerful! I mean, I guess it should be. A Dane axe is a pretty brutal weapon. As the Fear's second shield crumbles off the grip, dismayed he heads back to the boat and fetches his last. You are nearly as good as Falgir. If you should win this, I hope you'll be a better Thane. And I hope to serve with you as my Huskarl. My honor bids me to, and if I should win, you may serve as mine. Tell me, how do you plan to govern us? You have become weak and we have many enemies. The defenses must be strengthened. This is what I told earlier, so... let's say that one. Then you are wiser than your father. If you win, I shall gladly serve you. But, enough talk. Let us finish this. It took like 6 hits with the one-handed axe, although I was also hitting his shield a lot in that as well. So he's going to be able to move up. We're going to move back and try another charge. Because why not? What? We tripped? That's never happened before. What the hell? That was weird. Okay, Reckless Strike. Alright, so for this, I don't know if we can kill him, but I'm going to switch on non-lethal attacks to finish him the 3rd time. That's what I did before. I don't know, again, I don't know if you can kill him, but I don't want to. Oh, you punk. He stunned us. We can't do anything. Alright, non-lethal mode. While in this mode, enemies will always become incapacitated instead of dying, but none of your herdmen will perform crits. Non-lethal mode is useful if you want to make sure a certain enemy survives. A character's survival may change the story. So we're going to do a reckless non-lethal strike. Alright, he never actually got to block with his shield, which is interesting. The first time we fought, he blocked all the time. Your challenger struggles to get back on his feet, but he leaves his weapon in the mud. In the end, he settles for just sitting on his knees before you, his head hung in the signal of defeat. You got Roskva to poison me, didn't you? This disease was all your doing. And the trick with the net. How could I miss that rope? I never seen such a trap used in a fight. I don't appreciate such trickery, but I can't deny their effectiveness. Though I would prefer to bow to you, a woman who could defeat me fairly, I am at your mercy. If you'll accept my surrender, I pledge myself to your service. So I guess you could kill him here, but I'm going to say no. I accept your pledge, and he'll join us. Some unusual mixture of sadness and relief washes over him. He holds your gaze for a long moment, then he seems to get back some of the energy the duel took out of him, and he stands. You show me great honor. I hope my challenge won't linger in the air between us. I want you to know you can depend on me from now on. Fully. Kendall extends his hand to Asafir, who shakes it hesitantly. Glad to have you with us, you big lug. You put up a good fight. Well, that's debatable. I'll be glad to have you on our side. He ran up and we hit him with our axe. And yeah, that's debatable. But sure. Good fight. Nefia, GG. Nefia reluctantly shakes Altafir's hand as well. You were a fool to challenge Vetus, but I hope you learned your lesson now. I too am glad to have you with us. Altafir has joined your herd. Nice. I think we just go back to the boat now. Look at this. Now we got 3 followers. God, that 2-handed Dane axe with a 10 strength behind it is just brutal. So brutal. It's great. I love it. I love everything about it. But that's going to do it for this look at the game. If you want to see more of this, again, I don't plan on beating all of it, no matter what happens. But if you want to see more, then let me know in the comments below if you'd like to do that. And then I may record a little bit more of this game. I guess before we can also upgrade our characters. Let's see, we have 15 SP? Is that what we have? What do we want to upgrade? The Dane Axe, maybe? That's talking about skills. Next level increases Dane Axe base damage by 20. 9 SP to upgrade. Sure, that seems nice. And are there any passive skills we can get? Some of them do cost like 3. Halves enemy critical chance. Can we get that one? That's 9. There we go. This one's 4. 10% damage for 1 turn after every kill. That could be pretty brutal on someone who has 100 damage potential with a Dane Axe. Sure. We'll do Bloodthirsty so we get more damage. Why not? We can also use the SP to upgrade the other characters, as you can see here, so I guess we can just do that. You are a ranged character. 5% point hit chance for every shot on the same target, up to the max accuracy. There are a couple bow ones. Range attacks have 100% critical chance when the target is in melee range. That sounds kind of cool. Let's give that a shot. Increase the minimum hit chance on range attacks to 10%. Sure. Do that too. Astafir is kind of like a sword and board type of person. So you can see he has some things in shield and in literally sword here. Interrupt, kick. The stun attack is pretty cool. Let's make you a cook. I don't know what that's really going to do for us, but we'll put some in cooking. 20% chance to get well fed. 10% chance to get 2 rations. I'm sure that will play a part later. And then for you, if we go up here, spear damage is increased. Smack an adjacent target for 50% damage, making them concussed. Physical resistance, endurance -3. And then take 1 step back without incurring attack of opportunity. Interesting. Yeah, sure. Let's give that a shot. So again, thanks for watching this episode. Everybody, hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you want to see more, and have a great day. Take care.